roadside service, last mile delivery, ride share, food delivery. These are the hustlers and grinders on these Atlanta streets that answer the call.
Our guest, Whitney Wright, is the owner of Lux Lyft, an Atlanta business delivering elevated transportation and event mobility experiences across the Atlanta metropolitan area. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, let's just start here. How did you start this business?
Well, it actually started from a ground transportation business that I was going to create a luxury ground transportation business with electric vehicles. Okay. As I continued to do my research in that business, I realized that the same model could be deployed for golf cart owners, operators, as well as dealers and manufacturers. Right. So I started to go a little bit towards Lux Lyft when I realized that the World Cup was on its way. Became a member at the Commerce Club, and they were letting me know about Centennial Yard and Mercedes-Benz Stadium and all of the areas that could use Lux Lyft. So I became a member, and I started going to all the networking events around the World Cup and realized this was a huge opportunity. So I began speaking with vendors and operators and seeing how we can move forward to control the traffic during this time. Excellent,
excellent. So what motivates you to push and to grow this business every day? What's the motivation behind the vision?
Sustainability. Right. So I believe the more sustainable that our traffic can be controlled, the better off we will be. I'm one of those people that do not like to be in traffic behind a black smoke or any type of exhaust. So those are the reasons why I'm like, this would be very impactful, not only for our city to be more coordinated in transportation, but also because it's not emitting as much toxins into our environment.
Excellent. And, for our audience, our viewers, especially in Atlanta with so much traffic and everything that's going on, really thinking about the environment is a big way to really invest in our community, cleaner air, cleaner community. And that's one of the things that JIB Roadside Assistance is also focused on. We want to make sure that we preserve the environment and the impact it's having on future generations. So, what exactly are we talking about here in terms of this mode of transportation? Is it like low-speed vehicles, or is it something bigger?
It would be low-speed vehicles. These are can be deployed at a much higher capacity, and they would need to be street legal for the streets of Atlanta. There are several one-way streets. We are going to need specialized road paths so that we can get our guests to their destinations as quickly as possible to reduce chaos. I feel like the faster you get them to where they need to be, the better, the safer, the less risk.
Excellent, excellent. So where do mobility cars fit in between walking and e-bikes, scooters and cars? Where does it all fit in?
Well, the golf carts are going to be more controlled. They're going to have their own lanes. They're going to be going to a specific destination. It's going to be carrying several passengers. So they will get the right of way as if it's a vehicle. And they are able to be in traffic because they can go up to 35 miles per hour. So they won't have to be as sidelined as the bikes or the scooters. They will be able to be on the roadway, just has to be approved those routes.
Got it. So why is this category of transportation growing right now?
Well, it is actually going to be expanded. Just due to the fact that the mobility system that they are able to jump into is going to be more efficient for large events, high traffic environments, venues and festivals and things of that nature, just making sure that people get where they need to get to as safely, as quickly as possible. We don't want to see a whole lot of people walking around having pedestrians in high traffic environments.
Right.
So in the next 5 years, if it's deployed continuously and the cities are able to see the benefit of them, they are going to go for those mobility systems just for efficiency.
Right. It's efficiency and convenience. And I like them because you can fit a number of people in them.
Yes.
That's a good thing about it. It's not like 1 and 2 people. You can fit about, 4 or 5 people in them?
Listen.
So I think that's an extra, especially if you have a family.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to have 2 cars running behind each other. They can all fit in, hopefully.
Yeah, so we're doing 4 6 carts. We're doing the 4 and the 6 seaters.
Okay.
But you know, they're expanding in the golf cart industry, and they're having 10 seaters. They even have a golf cart limo hitting the scene.
Okay. And I noticed that they still continue to call them golf carts, but for this purpose, maybe they might change the wording in the future to
Just
something
mobility.
else. Just mobility.
Just cart mobility.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Okay. Mobility cars provide faster surface road pathway movement. Is this facts or fiction?
It depends on how coordinated the system is. I believe if the mobility carts have the routes that they are supposed to be taking, and the driver has the efficiency, understands that route, it's pretty much like coordinating a bus route for children to get to school. It's more efficient, and that's the reason why they use it, because it saves time for people. It also saves, of course, in the environment. Instead of having 20 cars take the kids to school, they got 1 bus. And that is the way that it should be run efficiently. In high traffic environments, golf carts would be the best way to go, so that people are not walking as far distances as they will be.
Right. So as golf carts continue to expand and there's more adoption and growth, how does that make you feel as a business owner in
I'm
this space?
excited. They are getting ready to have one of the second golf cart, believe it's expo.
Okay.
And several people from the golf industry are going to be there, but it's just the second one. And so to be on this level of this is going to be extremely exciting, and it has been extremely exciting. Going back to your question of what makes me want to do this, is because in many areas and instances I would be the first. So going into this industry, it's predominantly not us. So with that being said, being one of the first and taking my people with me, that's going to be exciting.
It's the first all around, right?
Especially in mobility systems.
Yeah.
A lot of cities aren't there yet, right? We talk about how much Atlanta has grown in the last 30 years. It was 3 million people population in Metro Atlanta. Now it's 6 million people. And we're talking about having an influx of 300 to 500,000 people at the same times. It's 8 matches.
Right. Yeah, point taken. So what does a fully integrated mobility car ecosystem look like in 5 years? Just looking out into the future.
Okay, well, first of all, it's not happening as much as it seems like it is. It makes sense to us because it just seems right. Oh yeah, coordinated movement, getting people from A to Z. That makes sense. It's not happening though. So it's kind of groundbreaking. So in 5 years, I believe more cities will have the adoption, more major cities as well. I know, for instance, Charlotte and Tennessee would be able to benefit from a cart mobility system for all of their high traffic events as well.
Yeah. I think a lot of these other cities, towns, geographies, they try to look around to find success. So if they see success somewhere else, they'll adopt. So success in Atlanta means success in everywhere else.
Yes, it's the 6th largest city in the U.S.
Right.
And we're growing, and it's like, where are people going?
Right. And I think we touched on this question already about, I'm going to put it out there, but you kind of touched on it in the beginning around, carbon emissions and really controlling the environment. And the question is, are mobility cars part of the push towards cleaner, more efficient cities? I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that, but pretty much I think that is one of the big draws about people that are really carbon conscious. You know, why drive my car if I can take something that's going to emit less, CO2s to the environment? So I think, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd like to add that a lot of dealers are going towards electric carts as well.
Right.
I wasn't able to find any gas carts at a dealership that I went to, and just wanted to know why. They may have had one used one on the lot and wasn't telling me not to buy it. Right? So there are not as many manufacturers right now in the electric cart mobility space, but I believe that is where it's going to grow to, because to be an owner of a cart, you have less maintenance.
Right.
They're giving 8-year warranties on the battery, and the only thing you have to do is balance the tires. So to me, for efficiency, and as well as this is not contributing to toxins in our environment, then yes.
Right.
Yes, sustainable is to me a better way than having 150,000 vehicles on their way to the World Cup just emitting gas because we're in traffic.
Right. And I'm aligned with that thinking, because, that's one of the things we have created with our platform. Instead of sending drivers, 20, 30 miles away to pick somebody up when they have a roadside incident, we find somebody that's closer. So we match them in proximity to the person that needs the service within a 5 to 10 mile radius. So we cut down on the amount of emissions that these trucks are kind of pushing out in the environment. So that's all kind of built into our platform. So I like the thinking. It's all about sustainability. So what happens when people have to wait too long? Do they abandon the experience? What is the wait time for these things? Do they go online? Do they book it? Is it on demand? How does that all
So
work?
in high traffic environments, we're hanging out around the parking lots.
Oh, okay.
Especially where we know that they are going to be parking far distances because of the cost of parking or the capacity. Then those are the parking lots that we're hanging around, and they can catch us going that way.
Okay. So how do they pay? Do they pay you cash, or is it how do they pay for it?
So that's a very interesting question. Depends on who the partner is. If the partner is hotels are providing this as a service.
Right.
So they're making sure that their guests have the mobility options. You can decide to walk, or you can decide to take a cart that we already have staffed.
Okay.
That's going back and forth and making sure that these guests are getting there as quickly as possible. Or they can opt to walk, of course.
Okay.
I like to get my steps in, so sometimes I prefer to walk, but not with 100,000 people.
Right.
I don't want to be in those types of crowds. So if I can find an opportunity to hop on, I'm going to.
Okay.
But there's a partner that I have that is owns a rideshare platform, as well as has driver onboarding experience. He's not here today. His name is Rashad. He owns Quick Carry, and Quick Carry is a partner that we will be using as well to make sure that they can tap to pay. So he has the opportunity and has the ability and the license to use Apple Tap to Pay.
Right. So for all of our viewers, Quick Carry is one of our guest that will be on the podcast very soon.
Sorry.
So he's coming. That's okay. So what is the protocol today for servicing, rescuing disabled, abandoned mobility cars?
I believe that is still being developed. Okay. However, in my opinion, this is what needs to happen is they need to be on the same routes that we are.
Right.
Same routes. They need to know exactly where we are. If we are partnering with, I would call it repossession or rescue transportation.
Right, or like roadside assistance.
Roadside assistance. Yeah. They need to know exactly how to get to us. Right. And if they're on our routes, or they can know our routes, just to know this is where Lux Lyft will be this day. If we call you, this is where we will need you to pick us up. Okay. That's more efficient to me.
Yeah.
Know our routes. We can have separate routes. So say, for instance, you're not on route yet, but once you get on the route, you're here. You're there with us.
Okay. We will have further conversations about that.
Okay.
Okay. So could carts become part of a larger mobility platform or a super platform? And I think you're alluding to that with, with some of the other service providers that are out there, from the payment side, from the service side. So what are your thoughts about that?
I believe so. I mean, there is so much of a need that it only makes sense.
Right.
And I believe that it's going to continue to grow in that way. And of course, there's room for so many people in the transportation sector that can be a part of that ecosystem. When you're talking about sustainability, that requires a lot of people in alignment.
Right.
So in every area of transportation, it needs to be a priority. However, the people who are going to impact that ecosystem already understands. They don't need to be sold on that it's a priority.
Right, excellent, excellent. So how can you be contacted for more information, especially, with respect to our ATL Roadwise viewers? How can they contact you?
You can email me, Whitney at Lux Lyft, and that's LuxLyft.com, or you can call me at 678-895-5717. Those are the primary ways to reach me because it's a business-to-business organization. Any other additional information I'll be able to provide.
Right. So going back as my final question to the payment. So does the venue pay you and the customers just ride, or do the customers pay for the ride?
So the customers will be able to pay on the deployment via quick carry.
Okay.
If it is provided by the hotel pays.
Got
the
it.
venue pays. They make sure that their clients and customers are taken care of in that way.
Excellent.
To me, that's hospitality. And I
Yes.
just want to put it out there that having a mobility system like this is Southern hospitality.
Right. So for all of our viewers, we're trying to make Atlanta green and efficient and really a great place to live. So if you're going to a venue, make sure you jump on one of these carts. I'm going to make sure I find myself. I've never ridden on one before, so I think I need to take a ride. But thank you very much for your time today, Whitney.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Cut? Sorry, is this the blooper?
Mobility is the heartbeat of Atlanta, Georgia.